You are like adeptus mechanicus. You want to look mostly at the engagements, right?
Can be both engagement and also the macro or anything. It can be
right,
both.
Right. Oh, I see macro-wise you're doing the 2 work at a time, so good habits. So don't have anything to say about that. Yeah. Oh man. Really smart Liberator position here, by the way.
Yeah, you think so? Because
oh yeah, I have diamond students that they are much better than you are mechanically speaking, but decision making wise, they are non-existential. You know, you are like adeptus mechanicus compared to them. You know, very smart.
Oh, it was probably just this game. Yeah?
Yes.
Sometimes it's a lucky hit.
Yes. Oh, Peter, I just forgot. Your question is you wanted me to compare what exactly? I'm sorry.
Just to say, what do you think is objectively like a good point of the game, and what is like wrong? Yeah, like like something like strong points, weak points. Probably also
Got
like.
it. Probably
like
also
compared to my league, let's say. Yeah? Like if you
got it.
If it's possible to estimate it this way.
It is. Yes. Yeah, so the first one, of course, and we already spoke about this, was the timing attack at 7:30, right?
Yeah.
You are a
Super
minute and 30 seconds late.
Yes.
So there's that. Second critical point, I think, is that I told you this. I think I told you this before. I'm not, but but I may be wrong. So please correct me. Right. Yeah. So once you cross 50% of the map,
Scan.
I like to say that you are in enemy territory. Yeah, it's time to scan. And because as I said, 3 seconds to siege up. And I showed you the problem, especially against banelings. It's a big problem, right? If you would get caught here unsieged, big problems. This is no big deal because this army is very small, so no problem. But if his army was maxed out, oh geez.
Yeah, even more attention devote to the push, because it's the crucial part of the play, right? Like for this strategy, which comes from the 2 bases. So I should focus more on it.
Exactly. Now I have one more critical thing for you, which is this. Look, you don't do this. You have already crossed 50% of the map. And you go, your camera goes back to the base to build the 3rd base.
I should just let it be, right? At this moment.
Yes. Yes. Because this is gonna define what's gonna happen in the next stages of the game. Not your 3rd base right now.
Yeah.
It's all about how well you're gonna trade here. So if your Marines and siege things were here, you get a 3rd, fine, because you're not close to his base.
Yes.
But here you're already getting dangerously close, right?
I think this is very important because I think this is my mistake, that I'm sometimes like very scattered. That I like
your attention. Yes.
Yeah, like
right.
I don't do many times the right thing. Yeah, that because I'm probably a bit nervous or like. That I forgot something, I want to do it, but then I forgot about the most important part. Yeah, so this is very important. This knowledge.
Yes. So let me simplify this to you, Peter. So I'm gonna separate this in two scenarios. One scenario is you're just macroing, right? And you're not being attacked. When you are in that stage, of course, you're just gonna keep your camera here, no problem at all. Right?
Yes.
Now you have another stage, which is when you are microing, when defense mode or attack mode. When I say this is, for example, you are microing here at the base. You only do 2 things: you micro and produce. In other words, you micro and only do tasks that do not require your camera to get out of where your army is. Do you understand? So, let's say you're being attacked by mutas here. And you get your camera and go back to your natural to build supply depot. That's a mistake.
That's not ideal, yeah.
Yeah. Ideally, you keep your camera there until you see that, oh, I'm safe now. The mutas are gone. Then I go and build my supply depot. Because I could leave my Marines there, go here. And then the moment I'm doing this, he's already doing something like this with the muta and coming on the back side here and attacking from this angle. And now your Marines are here. And now you lost this piece.
Yes, I think probably I have too many hotkeys. In fact, I don't know, but I spend too much time to especially for macro hotkeys. Yeah, probably I should have the production building simply on 5, like all of them, and tap in between them, because I think that I use too much time for this reassigning macro things, which is probably not necessary, especially not on my level. I'm not sure about this.
Give me you're talking about assigning
for example, barracks. I have let's say command center is under 4, barracks is under 5, factory is under 6, starport is under 7, and under 5 I have also not only barracks but also factory and starport. Yeah, if you understand.
Right. So I play exactly like that. I do the same thing.
It can be, but I believe it can be it's very useful on the higher level. But I'm not sure if for me it's not more practical to have it just everything under 5, like those production.
Yes.
Of course, command center 4 and barracks and every other production on 5. Yeah, that I will not use so much time in assigning production stuff, yeah, because
I agree.
I can tap in between it. It's probably more practical.
Yes, here's the catch, Peter. If you look at the Korean players, you have Koreans that play with all the barracks, factory, and starport in a single hotkey, and you have Koreans that play with barracks in one hotkey, factories in another, and starport in another. So you have really high caliber level players. In those two scenarios, in those two, using the two complete different techniques.
Yes.
But in your case, I think using just in a hotkey is definitely the way to go. Just use one and and tap through it.
Because sometimes even if so it even happened. I don't know if in this game, but in some games that I have to reassign everything. In fact. Yeah, because I did some mistake in this, and so it was very counterproductive for me because I'm not so quick. And so I believe this simplifying it can make my attack, for example, quicker.
Yes, because therefore you're gonna spend less time into this. Therefore, you're gonna get your timing faster. Exactly. Yes. Because it's a task that is going to require less time for you to do. Now, sorry, let me go back to the two modes that I was speaking about here. So you see, whenever micro is required, I only do two things. Tasks that does not require my camera to go back to the base, which is producing Marines, siege tanks, anything from the starport, and SCVs, and scanning, right?
Yeah, so I can keep the camera just on the place where I am attacked, because I can do this macro just via hotkeys, and I don't have to change the look. I took the screen.
Exactly, exactly. Then once the threat has been vanished, once the threat is gone, and you don't have to like, for example, let's say you killed all the Zerg army, and then you scan ahead, there's only 10 Zerglings. I mean, is micro necessary against 10 Zerglings?
No, it's not, in fact. I can just send like a move, probably, in this case.
Exactly. And then that's okay to go back to the base, because in that specific scenario, you killed his whole army, and the only thing left was a bunch of Zerglings. Then you go back, invest like a 3, 4, maybe 5 seconds back at the base. Then finally, you go back, and then repeat the same process. Micro, produce looking on the bottom. Micro, produce looking on the bottom. Micro, produce on the bottom. Oh, no more micro is required right now because I just killed his whole army again. Okay, good. Back, produce. And the same thing applies when you are microing. So you understand the major problem that even my master students have, and I have to fix this for them, is helping them to prioritize when to put their attention on, when and why. Because this is a major topic. It's a big topic. So, as I said, be more mindful about your army, especially after you cross 50% of the map, and don't take your eyes out of your army and keep your eyes peeled all around, in all angles here, right? You gotta be checking the whole vision.
Yes.
Sometimes even glancing on the minimap. You know that if you press Alt F, it's gonna change the colors.
Oh.
And
I didn't
right?
know.
Is this this hand here? And then, for example, here in this case I'm you and I'm orange. If I go here, options, colors, you see your color on the minimap you can change. So, for example, green, right? Or default. Default is a little more green than green. It's a little more light.
Yes.
Your color, you're like a yellow or red, whatever. Like I like to stay around out of red and black because you know if you go to a place in your city or anything like this, the first colors that the brain tends to see is black and red. You know, and the extreme colors like fluorescent colors are also very right.
So this should be the enemy, and not you.
Yes, yes. So maybe you can put you as green or blue.
I think I later prefer to play as green. Yeah, as green, like and even on the
perfect. Perfect. So then minimap color green. Sorry, you can put your color green. Ally color, you can put, for example, yellow.
Yeah,
hostile color.
Natural.
You can see this red is more red than this one, right?
More shiny.
I leave this, more shiny. Yeah, I leave that one, and there you go. And then just gonna hit accept. And now you see, if I look at the minimap, there's a huge contrast. Right?
This is better to make it like this, as you did it.
Yeah.
Green and red.
Yeah. Right. So if you press Alt F or click at this hotkey, it's like a two hands, like shaking hands. You're gonna go between blue versus red, or your color versus the enemy color that you chose on the menu here.
Alt F. Okay.
And make sure that you change the colors, team color intensity to 11, because if I put, for example, 1, the colors are not so intense now.
Yes.
You see?
Yes.
So I like to leave it on maximum, so you have a really strong colors. Yes. Same thing. You see, very bright colors from all my. See, this is like a little more darker, right? Then when I activate it, there you go, more shiny. Don't use display team colored life bar, please. Same thing for enable team colored textures. Actually, I think there's no, this one is fine. Okay, yeah, and then as I said, you just gotta be in these two modes, right? Whenever micro is required, I only micro and produce. Don't do any tasks that my camera go back to base. And then whenever I need to macro, then I macro. Then I do everything that requires my camera to go back to base. Does that make sense to you?
That's super useful because it like helps to organize the attention resources. Yeah, which are of course not so large in my case because
so scatter around, right?
Yes.
I go a little over here. It's okay. If you. Yes. So Peter, what else I have to tell you? So there's that. Now I'm gonna follow your camera to emphasize a little bit more those details. Oh, there you go. So this mistake here in master level, it's you don't come back from such a mistake.
Yes.
Except if you have a really good macro. Right? So look at your attention right now. By the way, Peter, one thing I was going to suggest to you is that you check your production now, and this is a problem that a lot of people have is whenever people are micring, they tend to only produce Marines and they forget the factory and the starport. So in other words, make sure that every time you do check your macro, you can do two techniques. You can select the barracks, check the barracks, produce, then micro, then check the factory, micro, then check the starport and micro.
Yes.
But it's pretty complex to do this, I find. So instead what you do is just select all the buildings, then go straight to the factory, build 2 siege tanks, then go to the starport, build 2 medevacs, then come back to the barracks and spend all the money on pure Marines.
Cool. Yeah, simple and clear. Yeah, that you don't have to think about it always. 2 siege tanks and 2 medevacs.
Yes.
Perfect.
But did you understood why I started with the siege tank and then the medevac, then I went to the Marines?
That you don't forget about this, because probably no, or that if I start with the Marines or probably I will spend so much money for the Marines that I don't have money for like siege tank and medevac.
Exactly. That's why I killed 2 siege tanks here, 1 medevac here, and then infinite numbers of Marines. By the way, as you see, Marines takes 18 seconds to be produced. It's really quick. Siege tanks takes 32 seconds. Medevac takes 30. So this means that if you put 2 siege tanks here, you have the factory now. You have pretty much a minute to check it later. The starport you have 30 seconds to check it later. But Marines you gotta check very much more often. So
yeah, so I have like 1 minute. So if Marines, so I have to make like 4 Marines to make it like time for 2 siege tanks. This is a lot to have a queue like this and a lot of time for microing.
Exactly. 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 Now, of course, as I said before, if we follow your camera here, let's see your camera. You go attack. You abandon the siege tank. Oh, you did not actually. You sent him forward. Okay. Get out the medevacs. You go back. Now you check production. Really good. Smart. Oh, damn. Very nice. Okay. Technique. Every time you're gonna do a drop, for example, like this, Peter, look, you pick your units on the medevac. Instead of clicking on the minimap here and then click, no. Use the minimap. Select all the units, hold shift, click here, D, and click inside the widow line, the mineral line.
Understood. Not on the real screen.
Exactly. So, yeah, because then you can solve the task in a smaller time, because these units needs to be micro right now. So if you overspend time here, the boys are gonna get murdered here, and your camera is like, oh yeah, let them die. We gotta drop. Fuck him, huh? And they're like, oh shit, last Marine's dead, and you cannot do much about it. Yeah. I drop again. Let's see your attention here in this case. So your camera most of the time has been pretty consistent. Yeah, but now not good what you do here. Yeah? See? This is not good. You're like, ah, yeah. So making the +2 upgrade is more important than micring my units back at the base, back here, you know? That's That's what you did right here. You see? Right? Look, let's look at it one more time. So here you're shooting, you're doing damage, you're like, oh yeah, I'm happy with this. Mutas arrive, especially at this moment, you could not move your camera out of here. You move the camera out. You understand?
Yeah, I still have some marines to fight the mutas.
Yeah. I know you would lose this battle anyways, but say for example he had a bunch of banelings rolling in, maybe you could select the siege things, focus fire, the biggest takes a better trade, you know? Anyway, so you're producing, you're pushing again. I'd like to see your camera again. You make a turret on the third, looking good. Nice. You transfer over saturation. Oh shit. He's taking down the base. You stim. So see, Peter, one problem you're having is no medevac production. I think you just produce it now, but you're missing a lot of beats on the starport production. And if you, especially now that it's stimmed,
yeah, they are much weaker.
Yes. Let's see what happens here. So you're moving forward. So for example, you can never move your army and don't have vision of what's up ahead. Right?
Yes.
So here you are on move stance. You see the crosshair on the ground? You're on move stance, not shooting. Still moving.
So I
now,
wasted a lot of shots, yeah, I understood.
Exactly. You could have killed that whole army before it got close to you because Marine has so much
Big
DPS.
difference, because then the siege can
And you're attacking there.
Chambers.
Yes. And you're attacking there like, like oh god! You're surrounded. Yeah.
Yeah, they are
now
weak. Only the mech units are alive, in fact.
Yes. Okay, nice. Yeah, so overall, just gotta be more, just gotta keep your eyes more aware of your army. But most of the time, you look very, most of the time you are doing unconsciously okay. Not terrible, but not great.
Yes.
Right? It's just okay. Now see, you just check at the production there. You keep forgetting the factory and the starport.
So that's a good tip you told me, like to start with the factory, starport production and marines later.
Yes.
Not later, but when I select for the same production round, so to start with these.
Yes. Yeah. And maybe the problem you're having is just what exactly we just said. Maybe you are spending all your money on pure marines, and then when you go to the factory, you don't have the money. See, you produce it here. Now you tab, no money.
Yes, I see it now. Exactly. Yeah, it's even it's apparent.
Yes. So maybe you are actually producing. You're just not having the money because you're overqueuing marines. So if you start with the factory, then starport, then you go back to marines, you're gonna fix this problem. And as I said before, you need the splash damage. So you're getting bases here, looking good. Of course, as I said, Peter, work on the benchmark we spoke about, right? The barracks and get them fasting time. Third position, very good overall. Very good. This turret here, I would actually have position here, or even touching my planetary, because I like to have like a one turret like touching the planetary here, another one touching the planetary here, another one touching the planetary here. Because if I scatter them around too far away from each other, the mutas can pick one turret at a time without having the support of another turret. Exactly. So if you have three turrets more closer, If tries to shoot if he tries to kill one turret, at least one turret is gonna be helping you at the same time. Does that make sense?
Yes, of course.
Yeah, and then if we pass the L, look, you traded 13,000 versus 17,000. Good trade, not bad at all.
In fact, he was quicker player. He had like one. You can see the APM that he has more probably. Yeah, he has.
Yeah, 159. Yeah.
This is not
certainly.
This is like I would say this is not even platinum, or probably very high platinum, low diamond, or something like in APM, of course.
Yes.
Only. Yeah. I
Yes.
don't know in
Yes.
other metrics.
Yes, 100%. Yeah, that's definitely the platinum average APM, 160. Yeah. Yeah, you got it, and you nailed this guy. Now, I think this game will not like imagine if you did the 730 timing attack. Let's just suppose this, okay? So you move out at 730. Let's say you arrive at his base at 8 minutes and 10 seconds.
I have more.
Is that reasonable?
At 8,
Yeah.
8, I have quite good army in fact. But first Medivac.
Yeah.
I see. I don't know.
Yeah, but let's say you did move out. You would be attacking. He would have this army. What else? Nothing else.
Nothing in fact. Because probably also those Liberators slowed him a bit.
Oh, certainly. You killed 6 workers plus the mining time, right? And then the macro disruption. So certainly. So see, so remember what I told you about whenever you saturated the expansion. So Peter, I think you're getting your expansion really late. I think that's the main reason that you're not being able to do the 730 sharp timing attack.
Yeah,
So-
I did it. I think I did it because of the defensive reason that I built it probably. I don't know if this is the main reason, but I built it inside my base. But it should not be so late anyway, right? It can be made quicker. Like that I fly it down, yeah? I don't build it on the spot.
Right, let me see. Oh, your 4th base timing, it's late.
It's late. At
You
least
should
like
build
20 seconds probably.
one
or not.
Yeah, you should. 145 is when your 4th base should have dropped down. So don't do this because this is gonna delay your expansion. I know you're doing this so he doesn't scout you, but it's Zerg. He's gonna fly the Overlord in.
I probably did it also because of Zerglings, but that's because probably it's the habit from the games with my brother. He likes to do like 6 Zerglings attacks and so on. Yes.
Every time. Got it. Against your brother you do that, but in ladder, I would expand on. I would actually expand on the logo, but here's the catch. Here's the catch. Start scouting at 18 supply. So let me show you. So you scout right now. Whenever the 18 SCV pops, you go scout. And then you're gonna get around his base around 150 or something. Or just scout like you did right here at 17 supply, right? You see, you saw an expansion. So if the expansion, look, a Zerg always gonna start expanding a 0.55. 0.52 the fastest. Let me show you. Look. Look.
And he
See
does.
this? Yeah, this is the fastest expansion time. So this means because a hat tree takes 71 seconds to be built, by 2 minutes and 10 seconds it should be done. So this means that when you scout, you're gonna get here around 150. So his expansion should be already almost done. So you know this is hatch first. Because it's impossible. Yeah, exactly. It's impossible for him to get the expansion that quickly. And then you know there's no spawning pool quick. Then you could just go down and expand the low ground. But if you got here and he's hatchery at 150, because as I said, we should assume that 210 is when his expansion is gonna finish, as you see here. Yeah, 24. Then you know that if his expansion was like 50%, 40%, you will know it's pull first. Then you could now expand the high ground. That's all. It's gonna, man, this is gonna make a huge difference in your macro, because lifting the base and then landing here, man, it hurts. It hurts the economy. You know it does, right? It's
of course.
like, yeah.
I did
got
the
it, Peter?
same against Protoss, to be frank, because I am not good in defending the tower rush. I mean that cannon rush, but
Exactly. You got it. You got it, Peter, for the day, man.
yeah, thank you very much. Very useful lesson.